Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air, proud to support the mission of KPBS and privileged to serve San Diego clients. Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air, helping homeowners maintain drain, heating, and cooling systems since 1978. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. By viewers like you. Thank you.
Good evening. It's Friday, December 3rd. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. We begin tonight with a local tradition aimed at bringing holiday cheer even during a time of continued concern of COVID and a new variant. December Nights is underway right now in Balboa Park, and all efforts are being made to make it a safe, successful event. KPBS reporter John Carroll is there live for us right now. John, can you give us an idea of what people can expect this year?
Sure, Maya. This all got underway today at 11 this morning, and at this hour, at the 5 o'clock hour, there are still lots and lots of cars up there going through the various food vendors, sampling lots of different tasty treats. And the way it works is, once you're done up there, you come down here to the lower parking lot, and then you find even more food. I've seen things like calamari, Pennsylvania Dutch funnel cakes, soul food. There's a whole lot of stuff. Now, one thing you do want to remember, when you're coming here, you have to enter on Park Boulevard from the south. And upon entering, you will find yourself in a culinary paradise with a holiday flair. Members of the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus provided the musical scene setter for the kickoff of Taste of December Nights.
I am so excited to officially kick off the holiday season here this morning with the return of Taste of December Nights right here in beautiful Balboa Park.
City Council President Stephen Whitburn is right. The celebration is in Balboa Park, but once again this year it's across Park Boulevard in the huge parking area just below the Veterans Museum. For 2021, the city again decided it just wasn't safe to have hundreds of thousands of people crowding into Balboa Park.
I think we're all looking forward to getting back to that, hopefully, next year.
But there's plenty to look forward to this year. A bigger space to accommodate more food vendors. And new this year, if you can't drive or just prefer walking to the event, you'll be able to hop into one of these electric vehicles sponsored by Sandag, which will ferry you around. And while you're enjoying the sights, sounds, and of course, tastes of the season, there's an opportunity to help those less fortunate.
We're inviting people to bring non-perishable food items, new socks, new underwear. There's a lot of people who need those things.
Now, all the fun wraps up tonight at 10, and then things get going again tomorrow morning at 11, and that is the same thing on Sunday. And then everything wraps up at, I should say it gets going tomorrow at 11, if I didn't say that right. Wraps up at 10. Holiday fun, San Diego style. Live at Inspiration Point in Balboa Park, John Carroll, KPBS News.
San Diego County is seeing a spike in COVID-19 cases that health officials believe is linked to Thanksgiving gatherings. Today, 1,153 cases were reported, up from case numbers in the 600s the previous 2 days. It's also the highest daily total since early September. Health officials do not believe the increase is related to the new Omicron variant, which has not yet been identified in San Diego. Another confirmed case of the Omicron variant here in California, this time a little closer to us. LA County health officials say a resident there is self-isolating after contracting the infection during a trip to South Africa last month. As KPBS health reporter Matt Hoffman explains, new international travel requirements are coming in just a few days.
Starting on Monday, those traveling to the United States will need to provide proof of a negative test taken within 24 hours before their flight departs, and that applies to those vaccinated or unvaccinated. Previously, vaccinated travelers to the U.S. had 3 days to get a negative result.
I just came back from Paris. There was you had to get test 3 days before, and then once you were clear, you were all set to go.
Rancho Bernardo resident Luke Trowbridge just got back from France and says the one-day test requirement is not that big of an inconvenience.
It's really easy. It's really easy. Just as long as you make a little bit of time for it, but you get results in 15 minutes, so it's pretty good.
Other people we talked to said the same thing.
I was going to catch my flight to Brazil, but I missed it. I was late.
Spring Valley resident Donovan Turner is hopefully leaving for Rio today. He also doesn't think that the one-day test requirement is a big deal and says he wants to do his part.
I don't think it's going to affect me, no. I think I'll still be okay.
These measures are all out of an abundance of caution, and that's because there's still a lot that we don't know about this new variant, Omicron, whether or not it's more contagious or vaccine resistant, and whether or not it sends people to the hospital at higher rates. The mask requirement inside of airports and planes was also extended this week. The measures come as travel in and out of San Diego has been rebounding.
Domestic has done a lot better than international. And again, that's really just because they haven't been operating this entire time.
Airlines haven't brought back all of their flights, especially international carriers. This year, Japan Airlines came back along with flights to Canada, and most recently in October, flights resumed to London. But overall traffic is still down compared to pre-pandemic levels.
Currently, we're between about 20 to 25% down from what we saw in 2019. So we are definitely a lot closer than we were last year around this time, but we haven't fully recovered.
Here's the updated testing requirements once again. If you have questions about the changes, a good tip is to contact your airline carrier, or you can check the CDC's travel page on their website. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
The city of San Diego says 1,200 employees missed the December 1st deadline to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Those employees will be getting letters telling them they have 30 days to get vaccinated or to request an exemption, or they will be terminated. Another 1,004 employees have requested exemptions. Most of those were religious requests. San Diego County's regional transportation plan was thrown into doubt today after top elected officials came out against a key funding strategy. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen has more from today's meeting of the regional planning agency, SANDAG.
The proposal is to charge motorists for every mile they drive, likely replacing the gas tax, which is bringing in less and less money as more cars go electric. The transportation plan would expect this switch by 2030, the same year public transit would also become free. The proposal depends on changes to state law and approval by local voters. Still, several elected officials, including San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria, got cold feet.
Over the past week, I think we've received we have received a resoundingly clear message that a proposed road user charge in San Diego is unsettling and unsupported, and that the uncertainty of this impact is looming large over families in our region.
Republicans on the SANDAG Board of Directors have been opposing the mileage tax for months, but environmental activists say the threat of climate change means elected officials have to be brave in pursuing strategies to reduce car dependence and decarbonize our transportation system.
The road use fee is much more equitable than the current way of paying for roads, gas tax. We have a road use fee now. It's not working. It's going to work less in the future. We must convert to a better system sooner rather than later.
Regional leaders will vote on the transportation plan, including the concept of a mileage tax, next Friday. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
Police were stationed outside La Costa Canyon High School today, and students were told to stay at home. This was after a parent made a report of a threat found on a school wall yesterday. Out of an abundance of caution, La Costa Canyon High School decided to hold school remotely. Carlsbad police told KPBS they are working on finding the source of the comment, and anyone with any information is asked to contact police or the high school. The shortage of substitute teachers and other school personnel has prompted San Diego County school districts to come together this weekend. KPBS education reporter MG Perez has details on tomorrow's job fair.
That's all the same there is. These are some familiar signs of what used to be a commonplace job fair before COVID-19. And now there is a return to in-person interviews and potential offers. This event is being put together and sponsored by the San Diego Department of Education and Point Loma Nazarene University.
We need to cast our net a little wider and really look at individuals who may not have traditionally gone into the teaching profession.
Point Loma Nazarene University is well known for its competitive education program with both undergraduate and graduate students. Layla Laughlin is a PLNU junior who's already completed many of the state's required classes for a teaching credential. She's also registered for the job fair on Saturday and well aware of what she's walking into.
It's been a struggle for all of us during COVID, but I think I definitely learned a lot more about myself and what I want to do in the future through it.
The same goes for PLNU senior Brianna Buchak, who hopes to teach elementary school after graduation. At the moment, she's a student worker in the administration office, but she's looking for job opportunities too, and says she will not be discouraged by the politics and controversies that have invaded school campuses.
I think it's very hard to be a teacher right now, but I think just like remembering like where your heart is and like why you started with education is really important.
The education pipeline is wide open right now. There are more than 600 non-teaching jobs available here this weekend as well. Applicants are reminded to bring resumes, dress professionally, wear a mask, and make it clear how much they enjoy working with children. There will be 29 school districts and charter schools looking to hire. Organizers have room for 750 applicants, and Layla Laughlin will be one of them. MG Perez, KPBS News.
Thanks to a new project launching today, 150 San Diego families will get a chance for guaranteed income. KPBS reporter Melissa May explains how it will work.
The state of California will appropriate $1.4 million of its annual budget to the nonprofit San Diego for Every Child and the region's first guaranteed income project.
It's an opportunity to provide direct cash to families with no strings, no work requirements attached. It's an opportunity for families to elevate themselves and support their families in the ways that they choose.
Kia Pollard is the director for San Diego for Every Child and describes the 4 areas who are eligible for this project.
So we are working with the neighborhoods of Encanto, Paradise Hills, San Ysidro, and National City.
Area codes 92114, 92139, 91950, and 92173 were selected based on their high rates of children experiencing poverty and low-income families.
Those facing food insecurity, those facing job loss because of COVID-19, to pay rent, or pay the electric bill, or the water bill, or deciding which one makes the priority list.
National City Mayor Alejandra Sotelo Solis shared a story about her family not being able to afford glasses for her until she was in junior high.
I remember hearing the song, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, da 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 da, like a diamond in the sky." I never knew that when you look up in the sky, it's not this white blob, but it really is a diamond.
Besides living within the designated area codes, there are other requirements to qualify for this program.
You know, you have to be a family of color, you have to identify that way. You have to be low income, and you have to have one child, at least one child, under the age of 12.
Not everyone who applies will receive guaranteed income. 150 families will be randomly selected through a lottery and be notified in January 2022. Those families will receive
$500 a month for 24 months for 150 families.
Applications are currently being accepted through 11:59 p.m. on December 6th. Go to SanDiegoForEveryChild.org to fill out the survey. Melissa May, KPBS News.
The Biden administration will bring back the controversial Remain in Mexico program that forces asylum seekers to wait in Mexico for their immigration cases to be adjudicated. Tijuana currently takes in 200 deportees on a daily basis, and right now there are barely enough beds for people already living in migrant shelters. And with this policy being reinstated, Tijuana Mayor Montserrat Caballero says the city isn't ready for more.
Preparados realmente no, ninguna ciudad y yo creo que ningún país está preparado para éxodos.
Caballero is being pressured by U.S. Customs and Border Protection to clear a makeshift migrant camp at the San Ysidro border crossing. She says the city has no plans to clear the camp. President Joe Biden tried to end the Remain in Mexico program, which was implemented by former President Donald Trump, but a court order forced him to restart it. This week, the Marines are celebrating 100 years in San Diego. KPBS military reporter Steve Walsh says MCRD was always intended to be a part of the city.
COVID protocols limited the public celebration, but San Diego's original permanent Marine base celebrated 100 years this week. Marine historian Joni Schwartzwetter says Marine Corps Recruiting Depot San Diego was part of the original vision for the city.
So local Congressman William Kettner played a huge role in bringing not only the Marine Corps but the Navy to San Diego. It was his vision to grow San Diego through the use of the armed forces.
Nestled near the airport, minutes from downtown, the base saw its role change as Camp Pendleton came online during World War II.
As the years went on, since recruit training first moved here in 1923, more and more focus was paid to recruit training. It was 1948, though, when the base was officially redesignated as Marine Corps Recruit Depot. And prior to that, it was Marine Base San Diego.
The base now trains all male recruits west of the Mississippi. After a long delay this year, they also began training female recruits. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy visited the base. Several of the original buildings are now on the National Register of Historic Places. Assuming COVID protocols loosen, the base plans more public celebrations in the spring. Steve Walsh, KPBS News.
We are staying a little bit cooler, at least at the coast, as we keep the marine layer still going into tomorrow. But things start to change for us Sunday as we get that offshore flow returning. So we will say goodbye to some of the clouds, but only briefly because there's a new storm system Tuesday coming through. And while most of the energy and precipitation from this storm system is through the interior southwest, we here will see at least a few extra clouds, I think, as we go through Tuesday. So that's basically the story of our weather pattern as we unfold through the next couple of days. But here you can see tonight already the marine layer working its way on in. 54 the low for the city, and as you work your way towards Escondido, 44 there, and we're back into the upper 40s here for Borrego Springs. Marine layer still hanging on as we head through the overnight hours. No big changes for us compared to the past couple of days, so this is going to feel pretty similar getting into Saturday morning. And then Saturday still quiet and dry, so tomorrow not a whole lot happening here as we enjoy high pressure and still have some of that marine layer with us. But by the time we get into Sunday, we will see that offshore flow kick in, so a little less in the way of cloud cover. San Diego 65 for your high tomorrow, and as you work towards Chula Vista, 63, Mount Laguna coming in the 50s, Borrego Springs in the lower 80s. The warmth, it's out there for much of Sunday throughout the interior southwest, and what we will find is that offshore flow trying to kick in here in Southern California, which is why I think our temperatures go up a little bit here heading into Monday with some of the milder conditions. Some clouds, though, arrive late Monday from that next storm system I was telling you about that will have some extra clouds via our area Tuesday. And so that's why we have some of the clouds out there. But Sunday looking pretty dry and mild for our inland locations. Temperatures in the lower 70s there. As we move to mountain locations, holding on to the 50s throughout much of the week, but we will be a bit cooler by Tuesday as that storm system moves through the interior west. And for the desert locations, they're back to the 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday. For KPBS News, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Melissa Constanzer.
More jobs were added to the economy in recent weeks, just not as many as experts had predicted. SDSU's Miro Kopik sorts through the pros and the cons of the ongoing pandemic recovery in the Friday Business Report.
You know, you could look at the jobs report today in two ways. On the one hand, 211,000 jobs created might seem a little bit disappointing since the expectation was about 500,000 jobs like happened in last month's job report. But when you look at it, you saw unemployment rate fall from 4.6 to 4.2%, which is a historic low. We see that people in their productive years of 25 to 54 have almost reached the pre-pandemic high in terms of their participation in the labor force. You know, we're still concerned about the inflation rate. We're still concerned that the Fed now is admitting that inflation is going to stick around a little bit longer, and that consumer confidence in the long term is declining. In the short term, consumers are still very bullish, and they're bullish about the jobs. They're a little less bullish about wages. Even though wages increased 4.8% over the last period, consumers are concerned that this inflation is going to eat away at their purchasing power.
I'm Judy Woodruff. Tonight on the NewsHour, we speak to the director of the National Institutes of Health as the Omicron variant spreads in the U.S. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Hi, I'm John Decker. Thank you for watching Evening Edition on KPBS. Now more than ever, local news is essential to our democracy, and KPBS is committed to delivering local news in San Diego and the Imperial Valley. Evening Edition, along with our other services on radio, digital, and podcasts, is how our news team delivers the news to you. How can we do it? With a passion for accurate storytelling and a commitment to excellence in journalism. But most importantly, we do it with your support. Our members, our viewers. If you've already donated to KPBS, then we thank you very much for your continued support. If you haven't had a chance to donate, now is a great time to show how much you appreciate the news we deliver. So please go online and choose a level, pick a gift at kpbs.org, or call or text donate at 1-800-576-5727, and thank you.
They drew national attention for performing on America's Got Talent, and this weekend, San Diego's Voices of Our City takes the stage again. KPBS's Kitty Alvarado now with a preview of how this nonprofit is also helping to get people off the streets, one song at a time.
Take me to the afflicted ones. I'm going to invite you up to sing, not yet, not yet. Take me to the lonely ones.
You'd never know it, but if you look beyond the tents of people living on the street in downtown San Diego, you'll find a little corner space that's filled with love and music.
When I walked into the choir, first of all, I felt accepted, loved. I felt loved. You know Dasher and
Io Rideander came upon the Voices of Our City choir by chance 2 years ago when she was living on the street and desperately looking for a place to charge her phone.
And somebody just kind of put their arm around me and just kind of led me in here, and I couldn't believe it. There's a choir. I'm like, what is this? And they're like, it's a choir. I was like, how do you get to do this? Just have a seat.
That day, she became a member of the choir. It's a diverse group of people with one thing in common: homelessness. Every member of this choir is or was homeless. Rideander says she feels fortunate to be living in a shelter now and grateful to be a part of this musical family.
I always wished I had this love like other families do. And it didn't happen until I found the choir. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. This is when I learned that I'm worthy of love too. I'm important too. Because I didn't used to feel that.
Rest here in my garden.
And that's exactly why Steph Johnson, the co-founder and creative director of Voices of Our City, started this choir. She says she sees miracles happen through music.
When you create a space, a safe space for people to be individuals, magic happens.
And that magic has taken them to unexpected places.
When we started the choir about 5 years ago, we wanted to bring this music. We wanted to bring the space of good food and good music and a safe place for people to be. Just wanting to treat people with respect and dignity, you know? Never knowing that we were going to become an in-demand performance ensemble, okay? Never knowing that we would be like on America's Got Talent, or that we would start a publishing company, that we're writing our own songs. We have our own studio now. We never knew that we would become this vehicle, this catalyst for change.
Through their performances, the nonprofit raises money that provides resources and support. Kaya Reuter, who was homeless as a child, says that help, plus the music, do more than nourish the body. They heal the soul.
when you're here, you're accepted, you're whole, you're loved, you're wanting to sing, and you get the resources to eat. You get the resources to sleep, and you get the resources to just be you authentically.
We've helped, through our case management and support and resources, we've helped like 80 people move off the street and into housing. But that's a piece of it, but a person has to feel seen and heard and be treated with respect and dignity and be an individual, be themselves again. And so what you just saw and what happens every week when we come together to sing is that everybody's voice is heard.
And when they leave, they take a little of that magic with them.
To navigate some heavy, ugly thing that they have to go through, but they have hope and joy in their stuff.
It's like once you feel it, you can't unfeel it, and you come back. You come back because you want to feel good, you want to feel complete.
There is a blue one that can accept.
And you can experience some of that magic too by attending their fundraiser and concert Hope for the Holidays on December 5th. Reuters says on this night, no matter who you are or what you're going through, everyone belongs to each other.
The moment you hear like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and you're just like, your face lights up. Everybody of all ages gets happy. You see the animals happy, the kids are happy, and like you forget who you are in your story, and you just get lost in the music. And I think that's the beauty of it, because it brings us all together, brings that oneness and that love for just magic.
In downtown San Diego, Kitty Alvarado, KPBS News.
What a great story. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Have a great evening.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air, proud to support the mission of KPBS and privileged to serve San Diego clients. Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air, helping homeowners maintain drain, heating, and cooling systems since 1978. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley. And by the following: and by viewers like you. Thank you.